Welcome to the podcast. This is Karim Rushdy. I'm your host. I got a very special guest, Ethan Maac, in the house.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How you feeling?
Amazing.
Big day for you.
Was a big day today. Big drop. Lots of activities. Now we're here.
Did you drop something off a painter's ladder? What did you drop?
I didn't drop any paint or supplies, however.
Which is good.
Yeah. I dropped a fresh new single and a music video.
Oof.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I'm super pumped on this one because it's been a work in progress for a little bit now.
And it is a good song. I heard it.
Yeah.
I watched
thanks,
it
man.
live.
Yeah, that's true.
Featuring none other than...
RJ Casey.
Who is RJ Casey?
RJ Casey is my little brother, Ronan, who's actually 10 years younger than me. He's 19. But
the boy can sing.
yeah, he's crazy with it. And it's like, he just kind of came out of nowhere and started singing and like, or at least coming through the studio and wanting to try it out. And then I was just like, you should write some stuff. Like, sit down, write some stuff.
Right.
And he did, and he hasn't really stopped. He's been in school, so he's been a little bit more engaged with that side of things. But yeah,
Wicked.
He's crazy.
Well, maybe episode 10 will have RJ Casey in. You never know.
Well, I think you should.
Or episode 2.
Yeah.
3, 4,
back to
5.
back, Mac to back.
Let's see. But today is not his day. Today is Ethan Maac's day. The Maac attack.
All right.
The one and only, the original, the local superhero. He goeth by many names. Actually, not really. He goes by Ethan Maac. But I'm going to start it off because I didn't do my research with a fire round of questions so we can all get to know you.
Hit me.
Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay. Born in?
Clinton, Ontario.
Raised in?
Stratford, Ontario.
Favorite food?
Thai food.
Favorite color?
Green.
Now tell us your family history in 10 words or less.
I thought you just said Nutella. Yes or no? Yes. But my family history in 10 words or less.
Wait, let's answer the Nutella real quick. Nutella?
Yeah, I like Nutella.
Okay.
I haven't eaten it in probably
pineapples on pizza?
10 years. Oh, 100%.
Oh. We should end it now.
That's such
Victor.
It's like a polarizing question, isn't it?
No judging.
The funny thing is, like, I got a burrito today, burrito bowl to be specific, and they have this pineapple salsa.
Oh, that sounds
Threw
good.
that in there.
That sounds good.
It was so good.
Yeah, but pineapple on pizza? I said no judging. I'm judging you, but I'm accepting you at the same time.
I don't know how it's any different. It's like, why is pizza held in this like holy space when like a burrito bowl? Like,
yeah, it's different. Okay, let's move on.
I
Musical
guess.
Accomplishments. What are your musical accomplishments?
I mean,
and to get us out of that pineapple heat.
Yeah, accomplishments. I mean, like, accolades. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy that I can do this every day. I'm so grateful that, like, people listen to my stuff, watch my stuff. And I think the biggest accomplishment for me is just being able to do this, you know? And, like, I'm not trying to be, like, woe is me, but, like, I've never won awards for this stuff, but it's not something that I necessarily strive to do. I think that, like, it'll all happen one day if it's meant to, and I'm just gonna keep doing it. But yeah, I'm just awesome. I was thinking about this as I was driving over here. It's like, man, like, I used to think about, like, I used to post stuff on YouTube. Like, I started out doing like drum covers, and I would get like 50 views, and I'd be like, wow, that's sick.
50 people watched this.
Yeah.
Or your mom 50 times.
50 times. But even that, it's like, that's sick. And then, but then it was like a game of like, oh man, I want to get more views. And it's like, really what it's all about is just being able to do it.
Right.
Because it's like, that's the art, really. Like, it doesn't really matter about the views per se, really.
So it sounds like you're saying you're valuing process over product.
Yeah, like
whether you get 1 million views or 10 views or 100 views, as the product of your efforts, you're actually interested in the efforts themselves.
For sure.
That's deep, dude.
Like, I'm always trying to grow. Like, don't get me wrong. I look at that stuff, and I'd be lying if I say I didn't, like, check up on stuff, especially on, like...
I don't care.
A day like today when it's, like, a brand new video and song drop. It's hard not to just kind of look at the numbers, every hour, see where things are at. Yeah, just see how people are engaging with it. And I think it's, like, it's important to a degree, but it's not...
To me, you could say that's part of the process too.
Yeah.
How your art is being accepted or not.
Yeah.
Or how are people using it, or why are they interested in it? So feedback, I think, is part of the process.
For sure.
For sure. It'll influence the next thing you make.
Yeah. And that is true, but also it's like, am I making this for somebody else, or am I making this because I think it's sick?
Right.
Because it's like, if I'm just making this because I think people will like it, I think it's like I'm missing what I really have to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do. Unfortunately, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
And I think there's, as artists, we're very emotional people, or we're in tune with our emotions, and we can get also stuck and trapped. So I've seen myself and others get trapped in either of those.
Yeah.
Focusing on what do the people want to hear, and also focusing on only what do I want to do.
Right.
Because it's possible, in my opinion, to just put yourself in a vacuum, and then you make no sense to the world.
Yeah.
But it's also possible to not bring yourself to the world, and by only giving what you think people want to hear. So I think somewhere in between, like some sort of balance.
Yeah.
Like being in tune with what the people may want to hear, but also being bold enough to still go against it sometimes and do what you feel, moved to do.
Yeah. Well, I think too, like, touching on that, it's like there are songs that I've made that I think, oh, this is going to be crazy. Like, this song is going to go in nuts.
Right.
And then I'll, like, play it for some friends or something, and it's just like
crickets.
You guys like that? But then there's like other songs where I'm like, oh yeah, I just threw this together in like 20 minutes, and then I play it and they're like, dude, this is crazy. Like, this is... And
that's the thing, you never know. That's the power of music. One time I made a song about being gluten-free.
Nice.
And I had a recording of, I think it was Pizza called me back to confirm that I had made such a crazy order. No, 'cause I ordered a gluten-free pizza with no cheese. Dang. And so she called back and said, so it's just gluten-free dough and sauce. Is that what?
And that's it?
Just to confirm.
No toppings?
Yeah, that was maybe mushrooms and olives. I don't know. And then
pineapple.
Pineapple. And then I recorded that, put it in the intro of the song, and I had it.
Amazing.
I don't know. It's like, I'm gluten-free. I'm gluten-free. And in the verse, I talked about having IBS. I was just being silly, but also expressing my truth, but in a silly way.
Yep.
I put it online for a month, and then I took it down. I thought, okay, forget that thing. Then I had a mother reach out to me and say, my son has IBS and has been made fun of at school.
Damn.
By the other kids.
Wow.
He was bullied for having IBS. And she said when he heard your song, it was the first time he felt it was okay.
Dang, dude.
And he went back to school the next day confident.
I have IBS.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. You make a song. Mm-hmm. For me, it was one of those, like you just said, a one-off flash in the pan. I don't care about it. Throw it up. Having fun mostly. But it actually had a profound effect on somebody. So Ethan Maac, who inspires you the most musically?
I draw so much inspiration from a lot of different artists and like genres. So it's hard to say the most. I also feel like I go through phases musically where like...
What's the current phase?
The current phase, well, so I'm playing in a band who's playing like alt rock stuff. So I've been learning a lot of like guitar parts, keyboard parts,
Nice.
things like that. So I've had to kind of dive into that world.
Right.
Steve Miller, like Daft Punk, like stuff like that.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And then personally, in my own music stuff, I would say some of my biggest like overall influences are people like instrumentally like Rat-a-tat, or like yeah, I don't know.
Steve Miller, Rat-a-tat.
Well, I mean,
Daft Punk.
Yeah, they're all good.
Interesting mix.
Mac Miller, Anderson .Paak, guys that I kind of have taken a lot of inspiration
Were you
from.
drawn to Anderson .Paak because of the drumming? Because you say you used to put up those drum videos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things that amazed me so much about him, is the fact that he's able to rap, like crazy rap,
Right.
while he's drumming,
Yeah, that's wild.
and like chopping it up on the drums.
Yeah, his
It's-
versatility is wild.
Yeah.
You
it's
remind
crazy.
me of that because I've seen you do multiple things. And quick sneak, what's it called? Preface? No. Foreshadowing.
Ooh.
Quick foreshadowing. You're about to do some of that here.
A little bit of that, yeah.
A little bit of that. Just
Yeah,
a little,
get into that.
little something. That's wicked, man. And so how about in your life in general? Who inspires you in terms of life, living life to its fullest and moving forward? Could be your mom.
Well, yeah,
You never
definitely. Like my family inspires me a lot, and
And they
Just-
support you a lot. They were at your music
support
video
me
release party.
a whole lot. They're my biggest supporters, without a doubt.
And
So
you had your cousin. Sorry, I remember you had your
yeah,
cousin there wearing the T-shirt
so
from your first album.
my second cousin,
It was
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Well, both my second cousins and my, what do you call a cousin's husband? I guess it's your cousin. Like my cousin got married.
Yeah, this is where we get into my dogs, aunties,
I
uncles,
know.
sons, fathers, uncles.
My
I feel like
cousin's
other
husband.
languages have this under control. In
Mhm.
English, it's so hard. Like in Swedish, for mother's mother, you say mormor.
More mother.
And if it's your father's mother, you say farmor.
Wow.
Your father's father is farfar. So
Lord Farquaad. How does that? Anyway, yeah. So like my family is massive, and yeah, my sister, like for example, my younger sister, she has like blown up on TikTok, just kind of doing her thing, and like she's got sponsorships, she's gotten
wow.
like it's her full-time thing. So like I look at her doing that, and she keeps it pretty simple as far as her approach, and I think that kind of touches on what we're talking about too. Like it's just her being real.
She's being her authentic self.
Yeah. And it's just like I fall into these traps, not to get too sidetracked, but it's like, oh, we got to make it like crazy, and then it goes into this like thing, and then but it's like what's the actual pit of that apricot, and like is it
Yeah,
digestible, you know? Like
I've never heard that. What's the pit of the apricot?
I've never used that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Is it an olive that's been hollowed and filled with garlic?
Or an almond, you know?
Or is it an almond?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. The fruit.
Yeah.
Not so good. The pit.
Exactly.
Fantastic. So you're saying we should be like almonds as artists.
Yeah, just keep it real.
Keep it real. That's amazing. Wicked, man. Okay, so here I'm going to hit you with the tough question now.
Hit me.
We've learned a little bit about you, but why should people listen to your music? Like, what makes you unique?
Well, I think that I really do truly write from a place that's my own perspective. But I try and do it in a way that's not... a fire truck. That's not...
I'd like to thank
to-
the Stratford Fire Department.
for taking care of business.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Inspirational.
It's true. And
Yeah.
every time they go by, I just think, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For real.
Imagine if we didn't have a fire department
It's so normalized, right?
and there was a fire. Like, what
What happens?
there's nothing you can do. You just
Buckets.
It's grab some buckets. Yeah.
It reminds me, like, we're getting off, but, like, who cares?
Yeah, it's fine.
I saw this video of this guy. He was, like, posting and there's like this literal dumpster fire. Like, I thought that was just a turn of phrase, but it's actually a thing.
Yeah, right.
And it's like once they go, they start going. And the guy's out there with like a tiny little fire extinguisher, just like, well, I guess I should try. And then the next video, like the next story clip is like the fire department actually coming in and you know, get out of the way. Like, yeah.
The real deal.
What would you do, literally?
I would be in awe.
And it's a dumpster. It's not like a house.
I used to make fires as a kid. One time I started a fire. I got so excited. I've actually built it up pretty big. I was with my buddy. And then we put gas on it.
Yep.
And then we had a match.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, we had a handheld lighter.
Okay.
So we had to get close.
Ooh.
And as we stood back and looked at the fire, he said, "Dibs not lighting it." And then I thought, wasn't that the best part? Wasn't that the fun part? To light it? So I went up and I lit it, and it burnt the hair off my whole arm.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a pretty hairy guy. So then I thought to myself, I better do the other one. So I burned the other one.
No way.
This was like grade 7.
Were you like swimming? Like, I need to like stay aerodynamic.
I had to, yeah. So you know what happens to an Egyptian guy? Your hair is already. Oh, you don't know?
No.
Egyptian body hair? Oh,
no,
dude.
I don't.
This podcast is about to take a whole other twist.
Okay.
Fasten your seatbelts.
I'm getting.
No, just kidding. Basically, the hair grows a lot, and then when you burn it, it grows back
thicker.
Double time.
Oh, so you didn't want to have like this like
extra
oven mitt.
Yeah, I didn't want a half and half.
Yeah.
Situation.
That makes sense.
Situation.
One time I got in trouble because having a little brother, like he was always 10 years younger than me, and I was like 18. He was 8. But I was like getting into all that stuff. And maybe I was a bit younger even, but I remember the one time like I figured out about like the lighter and butane the like aerosol.
Oh yeah.
Like a flamethrower. Yeah. And you know, I prefaced it with don't tell Dad that we're doing this.
Right.
But sure enough, I heard about that one.
The truth always prevails. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So don't tell Dad.
And
will never work.
It's a good thing that it does.
It is good.
This is a powerful thing.
It is really, really good. So how do you approach music that's different from other Stratford artists?
From other Stratford artists? Well, I think that the culture here is, the arts culture here is quite, it surrounds the festival quite a bit. And I think that's what a lot of people perceive it to be as well. Right. But musically, I think that there's a big folk movement in Stratford. There's quite a bit of rock that happens here. There's not a crazy amount of hip hop that is like played out in Stratford. So I think that sets me apart, I should say, in its own. I know that there's a lot of hip hop artists here, but it's just not something that is shown as much for some reason.
Right.
I think it's not just made it into the norm here.
Yeah, and you've touched on a hot topic in my heart because I live in Stratford. I've lived here a long time.
Yeah.
And I love hip hop and rap and R&B and pop. And I also know many local artists that are mind-blowingly amazing. And so, where are they, right? So I think we just started the scene right now.
I hope so, because it's like very.
I think
underground.
You've been starting the scene, is what I actually think.
I think that's the thing, though. It's not like I've been trying to start a scene. I've just been trying to get something happening, and it's like I'd be happy to see anyone else doing what I do, and I hope that what I do does inspire people to be like, oh, I want to do that.
Right.
Like, I can do that, and these people will still show up to that.
Yeah. I brought a friend to your music video release party, and he said to me after, I didn't know there was stuff like this going on in Stratford.
Right.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
So
it happens.
That's an interesting thing. Stratford, I feel, is kind of like that. We have a lot of cool things going on. We have so much diversity and incredible things. But if you don't know about them, you feel like Stratford's a sleepy town.
Yeah.
It can feel that way. It can feel like there's the festival theater.
Yeah.
There's the downtown, and then
nothing
else. But that's not true. There's so much. This is a rich town with
there's quite a bit.
So much happening, and so much that you can make happen because we're a small city.
It's right.
Right? We can just gather and do stuff pretty easily, like we're doing now on this podcast.
Here we are.
Hey.
Yeah.
So today is a very special day, as we talked about in the beginning, because Ethan Maac released a music video today.
That is correct.
And the video is for the song Light Switch.
Also correct.
So,
Also correct.
Also correct. Hey, that's 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
Let's see if I can get a third thing correct.
Okay.
The next segment on our plan here is to watch the music video and talk about it.
That sounds great.
Correct.
I feel like you asked me a question and I just like deflected it.
Did you?
I don't know. Not really. I mean,
because that'd be pretty smooth of you. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember any deflected.
I think it's all good.
Okay. Before we start this music video, do you have a question for me?
Well, I think that what you were just talking about too is like very interesting because you've been here too. You make music. You produce music. You work with a lot of artists. It's
That's
like I have my own sort of opinions on why I think a music scene per se hasn't really flourished here. But like, what do you think? Like, I think like there needs to be a catalyst. And like, what are your thoughts on what you think that might be?
It's actually kind of a loaded question, in my opinion, to be really frank. I think Stratford has a lot of work to do in accepting diversity, to be straightforward. And I think I know this because I teach here at Nancy Campbell, and I have students from all over the world.
Right.
And they come to me and tell me about their experience.
Right.
I have my own, but they have their own. And unfortunately, there is a great community that's very accepting and welcoming. And you know this, and I know this.
Yeah.
And we all know this. But there's also the dark side.
There is,
that we all know about as well. And that doesn't help, So that's just one factor. I think the other factor is the perceived mentality, like what you were saying about Stratford is just the festival theater, and then that's it. If you're not a part of that, what are you even doing as an artist or a musician or actor? Like, what's the point? And so, but I don't think that's a real thing. I think even people who are involved in the festival theater would probably be really happy if there was a bustling local music scene, which
100%.
There kind of is too, but like you said, it is kind of genre specific.
Yeah.
And that would be all right if there was no like local artists who make that kind of different genres, but there are.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So why aren't they coming out, and why aren't they performing, and why aren't they supporting each other? And so I don't know. I just feel like there's so many factors. And so you've been trying to do your efforts in performing live and bringing rap and hip hop into what you're doing, as well as elements of rock and funk. I've been to a few of your shows, and it's really, really awesome. And so what I've been trying to do is I built this studio here in downtown, and my hope is with this
beautiful
studio.
Job, by the way.
Hey, thanks, man.
This is incredible.
Shout out to Alex, the audio guy, who helped design this studio.
It's really amazing. Yeah.
So my hope is that this space, because we're in Nancy Campbell, which is an incredible school, and just the slogan of it is unity and diversity. So right away, we have a different context of thinking, and we're in a high school right now.
Yeah.
We're also in a state-of-the-art studio.
Right.
And we're still in Stratford, but it doesn't feel like we are.
No.
When you step in here.
Not at all.
Whoa, where am I?
Spaceship.
So I just, I think your question, like I said, was, a loaded one, because we could talk about this for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
But those are just some random rambling thoughts about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with all that. And I think it's hard to step out as an artist, regardless of what you're doing and where you are.
Right.
and perform and like put yourself in front of people, it's hard to be vulnerable. But like I know that for me, I feel the most satisfied with myself, and like it's the most rewarding when I'm up there just like being vulnerable and just being like, well, whatever happens, it's gonna happen. And like people might like it, they might not. I'm moving on with my life and I'm gonna keep doing this. But you don't know until you do it. Like with my little brother, the very first time he performed with me, his first time performing live ever, he was so nervous, like barely could get the gumption and like courage to get up there. But then the second show, he was like, hey, could I add a few more songs? Like I want to play a little bit of my own stuff after.
Great.
So it just took that stepping out of that comfort zone, doing it, realizing like, oh, this is actually amazing. Like this might be something that fulfills me as a person.
But you also didn't shut him down after that first one. You didn't say, hey, listen, you suck.
That's true.
Get off the stage. Don't do this again. You, I'm assuming, said something like, that was awesome, bro. Like, do this again, bro.
100%.
So that accompaniment and that encouragement, that's a major factor that we can start doing to help each other get going. And I know that from working here at the school with the students. Yeah. When I go out to a youth talent show, it makes no sense to me. Why are we putting the young ones up on stage and then telling them what they did wrong and why they suck at singing?
That was participatory.
Yeah, like, it's like, what is that? What are we achieving? What are we trying to achieve? So if we take a moment, and I don't think people who are doing that are bad people at all.
No.
I think it's just like a structure that we have.
Yeah.
And we just keep regurgitating it. So, but if we take a moment to zoom out and think, how will people actually develop their capacity to sing more? Then it becomes very obvious very quickly to anyone who thinks that we need accompaniment and encouragement. Yeah. You need a space where you can sing and be really terrible. Yeah. But someone can say, you actually tried. Yeah. You sang in front of other people, which is the greatest fear of all humans. Right. So good job to your courage, and just keep trying. And once they get over their own nerves, they'll be more open to feedback and adjustment and refinement. But you can't do that in the beginning. You can't go to refinement on step one, right? It shuts people down. Right. Yeah. And sometimes for life. Yeah. I've had so many students come here, and as children, their music teacher told them they would never sing well. Or whatever the worst, case may be. So we have to unlearn that, unravel all the emotions. Yeah. And it's possible, but it's a lot of work. It's tough. And like, I think though there is a way to take that kind of stuff and use that as fuel. That's true too. But it's like, you have to have that perspective in your mind. Right. And be like, no, this person was too either scared, they lacked the self-confidence to do it themselves, so they now feel it's their place to say, oh, you can't do that. Right. Whenever I hear that, though, it's like, okay, like, I'm pissed for a minute, and then I'm like, watch me do that. Right. I don't know, it might take me 5 years, it might take me till I'm like 50 years old, but like, if you tell me I can't, I'm going to try and do that till the day I die. Like, so how did you get to that point? That sounds like you have a strong inner architecture with confidence, where you can take that negative feedback and turn it into the fuel that sparks your next creative moment. Like, that's not normal. No, well, you're special. What'd you call me? Small town superhero, something like that? Yeah, the local superhero. How did I get there? I don't know, man. I think it's just, you got to go through times in your life where it's like not comfortable. And it's like, whether it's your own chatter or externalities that are affecting you. And it's not to say I've had like a crazy, like, hard life per se, but I've definitely gone through some stuff where it's
changed my perspective on how I think and how I interact with other people and stuff. And you realize that so much of how people react to you is their own self-judgment.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, if I'm like happy to sit here and talk to you, it's because like I like who you make me. You make me feel good, and I like who I am when I'm talking to you.
Stop it.
You know what I mean? But that's when you lock in with somebody,
right.
you know, like that's what's going on, I feel like.
Right.
And it's like these people
we might call that a vibe exchange.
That's a vibe exchange right there.
Exchange that he just described.
Right.
Right.
But then when someone doesn't vibe with you, it's not you.
Right.
Unless you're the one messing with it.
Unless you haven't showered in a week.
Yeah. I mean, there's exceptions, but I mean...
Exceptions to the rule, but that's the general rule.
I think that's the general rule. It's like, don't take it personally. Take what they're trying to say. Think about it. Throw it out.
Right.
And then try and do better.
And I feel like you're touching on something which is basically the concept of introspective reflection.
Yeah.
Where you have an experience and you don't just move on to the next one. You take a moment to think about, okay, why did that happen? Why did I react like that? Who am I? Why am I thinking this? Was there a reason I reacted emotionally or negatively?
Yeah.
And that's profound. That's huge. That's as musicians, the more we can do that, the more equipped we will be to be confident enough to, you know, hear those negative messages and then turn them around.
Right.
But I think it's the same for positive messages. For example, if you go do a show and someone says, "You are the greatest singer in the world. You're a god amongst men.
You're a local superhero."
You're a local superhero. Imagine someone said that to you. Oh, wait.
Oh, my gosh.
But then that could go to your head. It's like the same thing, but reversed. Then you could walk around with an overinflated ego when really, like, calm down. Like, okay, maybe you did well, but there's always room for improvement.
Absolutely.
The greatest singers are always taking singing lessons to keep their voice up to par, right? And so,
and there's just so many people doing it too. It's like, I mean, I think it's great that there is the access to music now, but it's become competitive just for attention, you know?
Yeah.
You know, just like, you know, I put a lot of work into my music and stuff, and it can be hard sometimes to feel as though it reaches as many people as I think that would like it and enjoy it.
Right.
So that becomes a challenge. But, that's where I think, you know, when you're ready for the masses, I think it will be obvious. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like,
I think so.
In due time, I think things just happen and things just progress.
You know what
before you know
today?
It. Yeah.
Your music video.
Yes.
Let's check this out.
Okay.
And the people are going to watch it with us who are watching.
All right. Enjoy. There's me. Okay, wait. I just want to say off the bat, this music video was 3 days of shooting, 2 days of shooting, months of planning. You never know what's gonna happen. So this day we got me and what is supposed to be my brother. My brother was writing an exam that day.
Oh, you had a stand-in?
So he had a stand-in. He told me this like 2 days before the shoot.
Who's the stunt double?
So that's Andrew McCardle right there. Shout out to Andrew McCardle.
Okay.
And anyway, like that's just kind of a little Easter egg. So that's actually
awesome.
not Ronan, but
I love it.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, we're getting the inside scoop.
Check. Phalange. Check.
So everyone in this video is a Stratfordite.
Yeah,
or everyone who
they
helped make it
either
happen.
are from here or they live here now. Yeah.
Right. I just said that because I remember Jeff saying that at the music video release party. And he seemed very proud of that fact.
Yeah. I mean, like, what we're trying to do is like
Dr.
get the
Linden.
local scene, you know?
I'm here to
Right.
inform you that this project has officially been terminated by law under the Humanoid Sentiency Act.
Did you write
Your
the
funding has
script?
been
I
cut,
did.
and your access will be revoked in 24 hours.
Couple things that I
Please
was
pack your
like,
belongings and vacate the
you hear for like
premises
the
by 0800.
400th time and you're like, ooh, that doesn't really make sense.
Funding cut.
I think it turned out pretty well for the most
You
part.
made basically a movie.
Switch it
Yeah.
off. We're just days.
Was this all filmed at Little
As I
Big
said,
Creative?
Doctor, please
Yeah.
pack your belongings,
That's
or we
amazing.
will pack
Yeah, we like dressed it all up and got a bunch of
Can't
props.
take my creations. They belong to me.
That bed I sold for $50 after
The
the
only thing I'm
fact. Picked it
counting
up for
on is
free.
you fulfill your next assignment.
You
with us.
made money
As you said,
on the
Doctor,
I made
you still have
money
4
on
more
the
years under
prop.
contract.
Wow,
You're
just the
legally
one
signed
prop.
to the luck now.
On the one prop.
Please report Monday morning 0900.
So who is this wonderful man that acting like the scientist?
So this is Richard Fitzpatrick. He's a somewhat of a local legend.
A local legend.
Yeah. He's been in some crazy stuff.
Wow.
Most recently, Dark Matter on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got a part in that.
Look at that. We got a local
Yeah.
Netflix superhero
Oh yeah.
joining the local superhero.
And these
for his
people are
music
just
video.
walking around, getting coffee
Amongst us.
us.
They're getting coffee either at Revel or Balzac's
And that says a lot about who you are as a person.
or Edison's. Yeah, that's it.
My go-to's been Livery Yard as of late.
Oh yeah. You performed there too.
I did.
So this scene I love, the way she's chewing that bubble gum. I remember watching that and I thought that's so natural.
Yeah.
It just feels like amazing in this.
Something Inspector Elby
Kind of incorporated into her character.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Okay, I'll meet you
And the
up there.
music for this, did you make this? Did you score it?
I didn't.
Or
Like
you
Jeff,
just grab some?
he sent me this cut and he had the score and I was planning to do the score and I was like, man, this is perfect.
It's
Like
already
I don't need to do anything.
Amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, he killed it with so much of the edit.
So how'd you come up with this concept? Basically, you and your brother are robots,
That's right.
and you were designed to be the perfect men.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of the idea.
And then they shut down the program,
Exactly.
and then these security guard girls find you
Exactly.
4 years later. or
Yeah, they're
whatever.
kind of cute. Like we should,
Right,
they're having
right.
guy troubles. Having
Right. And the conversation, we kind of spoke over it. They were talking to each other saying, oh, yeah, I was with this guy last night. And then he started talking about his pickup truck.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
wish I could just
Switch them off.
switch him off.
Exactly.
Okay.
The
So how'd you
foreshadowing.
come up with this concept?
Well, we just like light switch was the thing. Like you treat me like a light switch. It's on off, and it's like the on off relationship.
So
thing.
that came in the songwriting session.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was like the early
Right.
idea, and then I was like, what if we just took it like literally?
Literally.
Yeah.
Light switch equals robot.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Yeah, this scene was crazy to me. It's like literally movie level. And then the song started, and then now we're at Mike's Bowling Lanes.
That's right. Shout out to Mike's.
Okay, I had a question that was at Contact?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Those were terrible to put in, I must say. It took like 45 minutes.
Why?
It was hard.
Oh, just
Just
hard to get in
blinking. Yeah.
Was it hard to keep a straight face in these shots?
Yeah, like I was losing it.
I'm liking the haircut though.
It was good for a minute.
Yeah, this is awesome. And then the
dancing
CIA
crew,
start
so
dancing.
amazing. So this was all choreographed by Shayna right there.
Hey, wonderful.
Megan owns On Stage Dance.
Which one?
On Stage.
On stage. Okay. Wow.
Right
That's
around
right here.
Yeah. And then Bridget dances there too. The old barn.
Barn?
The old rink.
Oh yeah. Right. Well, I thought you said, "Do you know Barn?" I thought, was that one of those girls' names? Barn? That'd be fine. That'd be an okay name.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Bit of cursing there, but hey.
That was amazing.
Just natural. Ad-libbed that.
Okay, how did he get that shot on the ice, though? Was he wearing skates?
He was skating.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
What did he film this with? Do you know what kind of camera?
It's a Sony A7. I don't know.
A7?
It might not be.
Those are wild. Oh, it might not.
Jeff, I don't know. You'll have to answer that.
Well, shout out to Jeff. These shots are pristine.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, there's the little bro in the light switch diner. Like, the attention to detail is amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. That was like the crew. We had amazing crew.
So this means you had the song done,
Yeah.
and then it took months of planning,
Yeah.
and then 3 days of shooting.
Yeah. Pretty well.
Yeah, this was awesome. The nuts and bolts to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild when she turned him off and got the number of the.
You
Come
picked it
on,
up.
man.
You
It's
picked
cold.
it up.
It's
Yes.
cold.
Yes.
And then she's pretending like nothing happened after
Yeah.
that.
What you want? What you want with me?
So who did the mixing and mastering of this song?
That was all me, man.
Hey,
Yep.
the man himself.
Just pulled it through.
So you produced the song,
Yep.
you wrote the song,
Yep.
mixed the song,
Mixed it.
mastered the song,
Yep.
planned the music video,
Planned the music video.
assembled a team.
Assembled the team.
Because there's no way you did this music video alone.
No.
That doesn't make any sense.
We had an amazing team, man, and that's why this looks so good, and you know, everything came together. It was like truly a group effort,
Right, right.
but it was still crazy. It was still a lot. Low battery type moment.
Low battery.
There it is.
Respect. Absolute respect.
Thanks, man.
So the thing that was amazing was when you did the music video release party,
yeah.
it reached that moment. We were all watching it on the wall
Mhm.
in that same studio where it was filmed.
Yep.
And then we couldn't see the stage because you had a huge plastic covering it, just
Yeah.
like in the video. So
Yeah.
again, the attention to detail is phenomenal. And then how did you enter? Tell us. How did you? Because we were all watching the screen. It ended with clapping, and then what happened?
And then I had Jeff Wood's dad push me out on a dolly, and I was like shut down on the dolly, and he was wearing the thug, the henchman outfit with the mask and everything, and move. He rolled me right up onto the stage, and
And you were wearing the same outfit from
I was wearing the same outfit. You know, we did it big, and it's funny because I heard from some people after that show. They were like, "Yeah, that scared the crap out of me when that happened," because we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know it was part of it, and then they saw some people like who knew I was up that were like filming and stuff, and they're like,
Right.
"Okay, I think this is part of it." But yeah,
Yeah, I was a little. I wasn't scared personally, but I was
it's okay.
confused.
Man. You can say you're scared.
I was freaking out.
That's okay.
No, I wasn't scared. I was confused.
Yes.
And for a second, and then as soon as I turned to because it was like move, and I just kind of turned like, okay, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then I saw you getting wheeled in, and my first thought was like, oh yeah, he did it. He went all out because I had no idea what was gonna happen. And,
Right.
I did notice the plastic, obviously, and so I thought, okay, that's got to be related. But then it wasn't until later I realized on the wall were these images, these pictures, which then I realized were directly from the video.
That's
about
right.
the laboratory and all
Yes.
physics and stuff. So I do have a question. It's a little more practical. So
Okay.
for an artist that's trying
Brass taxes.
yeah. This costs money to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
This is resources. So how did you fund this endeavor?
Yeah. Well,
This magical endeavor.
this magical endeavor. I mean, I don't just do this full time. I wish I did, and hopefully someday I will, but I also paint. So basically I've been painting full time for the past almost 2 years, and have just been putting together some money because I know that I've wanted to do stuff like this, and I also know the costs associated with that. So it's just, something that I thought ahead of consciously. Okay, like knowing what I've done in the past, knowing what that has costed. What do I want to do? How much will that cost? What do I need to do to get there? And painting was just my medium to get that money together.
So, wow. So the process we're talking about isn't that you wrote a song and then planned the video for 3 months. You actually have been working full time for a while, saving up.
Yeah.
So that you can plan with the right team.
Well,
is that right?
Yeah, I mean, we were blessed. Like, Jeff is a good friend of mine, and he was super keen on just like shooting something like this. We've shot stuff in the past, and it's always been, or not, I should say always, but it's been more relaxed in the shooting style. It's been just kind of on the cuff, like, okay, let's do this, like shoot that, shoot,
right.
Snip it together, put it out. But he's like, man, I want to do something super cinematic. So the fact that I had him on board was like half of the battle.
Right.
Because like otherwise, that probably would have cost like 30 grand, which like we're talking, I'm like, I didn't have that kind of money to put towards the production, but like, the dancers, they, we're happy to help out too. Like, I always try and reciprocate with something, anything, but like it may not be, a couple $100 or like whatever, but they're like, oh, this is great for us. We get to dance, we get to get our names out there too. So picking those battles and being able to give people something for helping out is where I think this was able to work as well,
That's wonderful. So it's also a product of your community building efforts.
100%.
Which, is just a fancy way of saying you've been building friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's important to know, because for someone who's out there here in Stratford or the area making music in their basement, which nowadays we all know you can make really high quality stuff from a laptop. And so, but then I feel like these are the next steps that are actually very, very challenging. Like, how do I go from song to video concept plan? Because all those details you worked out, that's a lot of stuff. So I really appreciate you sharing some of those behind the scenes nitty gritty.
Absolutely.
The grind, the hustle. Because that's, I have a lot of respect for that, man. You've been crushing it out here.
Well, I mean, like, the other thing is, like, I'm a single guy and I don't have kids.
Oh yeah, there's that.
You're married
I'm
and
on
you
the
got
other
3,
end of the
right?
spectrum.
Like, and you work full time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to say that that's amazing. Like, I'm hoping one day to be in that position as well. And
you can just have some of my kids. We're making so many at this point.
They already know me as Sponge Top.
Sponge Top.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, it's like huge to just to all these little things I've been doing, meeting different people. It all comes back, and it's not just the music, right? It's like hair, makeup, costumes.
Right.
People that are just moving, helping stuff out. The actors, just like knowing people, meeting people. Oh, you model? Oh, great. Like, we're doing this. Like, you want to do that? Like, yeah, sure. Jump in. Just so, keeping those connections and like storing them in your phone and making a concerted effort to like organize that into like, if you want to have something, you have a vision for something you want to do. Okay, who do I know that does that? Cool. That's your price. Okay, do I know someone else? I can't afford that?
Right.
Cool. I can't afford that? You're in. Right. Like, that's kind of it.
I actually think a lot of people get hung up on that step, just reaching out.
Yeah.
You can just ask and say, hey, I want to do this video. Or because the first thing is just the schedule.
Yeah.
Is that person even available?
100%.
Like, when do you want it done? And are they even ready? Most people, that's the main thing. A lot of people are willing to work with the price, in my experience, like trading services. Like, okay, I'll
100%.
do this makeup for you, but then like I have this other project I'm doing, or I'm doing a makeup video and I want you to make me music for it.
Yeah.
That's a great trade, right? Or whatever it is.
1000%.
Yeah.
I think if you think about it the right way, you flip it around, take a good look at it, there's a lot of things you can offer people that isn't just money, that they value, that you can get them to help you out, you know? And, you know, like a lot of the people, a ton of the people that were involved in that production, just were volunteering their time, you know?
That's amazing.
They could see what we were trying to do and they're like, this is awesome. Happy to be a part of this.
And you had a whole band.
Oh, you're talking about
at the music video.
At the music video, yeah.
You had a whole band.
Yeah.
Like electric guitarist, bassist, drummer.
Yeah.
Singer.
Yeah.
Different singers.
Well, the other thing too with the live event is like we sold tickets.
Right.
So we could recoup some of those costs. And it was $10. I mean, you're seeing that video and getting this live show. You're getting a drink or refreshment, and you're getting this live show.
Yeah, and you had a guy mixing drinks.
Yeah,
you had a sound guy.
A whole experience. So it's like
people capturing video, taking pictures. I'm just sharing. There's a lot of people involved.
Yeah,
your parents were accepting payment at the front.
And like that's where like having people that are just on your team for the love.
Right.
Is massive, because it's like I just can't do everything. I need some people to like stand at the door, take tickets, and that.
One thing I think is also, I think money follows vision. Because it's clear that you had this vision for doing an epic video, and so did Jeff.
Yeah.
He said, I want to do something really cinematic.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then you had your like cool idea for what it would be. And you put those two together, which made an even bigger vision. And then I'm not saying money follows, but money in terms of also like resources, like even human resources, right? So I've had that experience here too with the studio. So I've wanted to do this studio for 6 or 7 years,
right?
But it only happened recently because I changed my mindset.
Yeah.
And I said, no, this is the vision.
Yeah.
And it's gonna cost $100,000.
Right.
And I made a detailed spreadsheet. And then I said, I'm not gonna say no to this dream. Other people can say no if they want, and then I'll just find other people to talk to who will say yes.
No's lead to yeses, man, right? Every time.
And so that's what I didn't get $100,000.
Yeah.
But I got enough to do it. And so here we are, right? Sitting in here doing the first episode of the podcast in the
beautiful
new studio.
Space.
Yeah. So I think that's really inspiring about what you were saying, is that you had that vision, and then that really attracts people too.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the other missing link. People make a song and then struggle to talk to people, struggle to have a vision about it.
Yeah.
Struggle with this and that and that and that. And I think the main thing another thing you said is assembling that team. So also
for sure.
About, just if you can't have that kind of vision, find people who are the visionaries.
Yeah.
Who believe in you to get it going together. And
it's so good to have someone to bounce ideas off of too.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of the time I'm sitting and I'm coming up with all this stuff, and I'm like, will this like work? And then like someone will have the idea, oh, we'll just string it up and it'll be on a pulley, and it's like, perfect.
Yeah, right.
Like that whole plastic thing.
Everyone needs a MacGyver friend.
Yeah. We had David Anthony Turingneck. Shout out to David, who did the lighting for the video. But then when we stepped into the live show, I was like, I don't want it to just be a stagnant lighting situation. I want it to be pretty dynamic, but also tie into the theme of the video, which had like a lot of green and that. So we got him to come into the live, and he worked on the music video, So he was able to just be like, oh, like I know what you guys are going for. We put that there. You'll get like a nice up lighting, and like you don't get those raccoon eyes. And he had all these because he just knows.
Dang.
You know, so it's like offloading like stuff to people that have this wealth of experience to like just like, okay, well now I can just work on my things.
Right. You could focus on the musicality of the performance, knowing that David's got your back.
Yeah.
And you won't have raccoon eyes.
Exactly.
That's next level.
Yeah.
So we've reached the point of our second last segment of this podcast.
Here we are.
Are you excited?
Yeah, man.
I'm excited.
It's been awesome.
Because this next segment is going
to be very different. Can you cut that? A voice crack?
Yeah, no, we'll auto-tune it.
Yeah.
We should do an episode with just auto-tune on the whole time.
So I was thinking about you.
So this is the section I'm going to call AI Made It.
Ooh.
We'll work on the title of the
Allen
section.
Iverson.
But basically, I asked ChatGPT to make us questions.
Nice.
And so let's just fire it off and see how it goes. I actually glanced them over. I haven't read them yet.
Glazed them?
I just glazed over, and I said, those look like legit questions.
Just honey dipped them.
So here we go. This is directly from ChatGPT.
All right, let's see how she did.
Ethan Maac's music video release parties. Yep. How have these events contributed to the local music scene and engaged the community?
I think they contribute something pretty unique to the local music scene, like we were touching on earlier. There's a lot of stuff going on, but it's not, I've never really seen anything like we did that night.
Right. And you've done this a few times now.
Well, it's the second one we've done, and
third one.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you did the drive-in theater.
Oh, true.
So is it fourth one?
Yeah, well, we did one with G Pretty as well.
G Pretty? Yeah.
But it's just been a learning experience. For me, yeah.
Yeah, but you orchestrated that one. So actually,
yeah.
You call it four?
Kind of set it up.
Shout out G Pretty?
Yeah, shout out to G. And engage the community. I think that it's just been about like showing people that this can happen and it's all possible.
Amazing. And sometimes you can have mac and cheese.
Yeah. Another little crazy little
Ethan Maac and cheese.
Yeah.
I was watching you walk around car to car at the drive-in, handing people their mac and cheese orders. And I was just thinking, who is this guy?
Crazy. Yeah, we probably just met around then.
What is happening? Is this a normal occurrence?
No.
Was that your first music video release party?
I would say so, yeah.
Because that was pretty wild. So you started with a bang.
We started with a bang, and that was another one where I worked with Chris Von Kleist, and
shout out Chris,
and we
KVK.
Yeah, we went in on that one too, so we wanted to do something special there as well. So it's been a process of like doing these events, what worked, what didn't.
Right.
What do you want to do next time? Oh, I got this. Let's do that.
Right.
What happened in that video? Oh, let's do that in this when it's live.
That's amazing.
Put a plastic sheet up.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to ChatGPT.
Chatty.
Balancing stage presence and humility.
Ooh.
How does Ethan Maac approach being a strong stage presence while also maintaining a humble and welcoming atmosphere?
Holy smokes, ChatGPT. I think that's definitely a balancing game because like people come to see you, and I think there's a confidence that it resonates with people. When you're just hitting your stride, you're playing it right. It doesn't mean you have to be cocky per se, but I think confidence is definitely a big part of performing live and being successful in that realm. But staying humble, I think, it's just a matter of like being able to laugh if you make a mistake, if you hit a wrong note.
Yeah, true.
You're up
that
there
goes
with
a
your
long
buddies.
Way. That goes a long way.
And
people actually feel. I feel like people, from my own experience as well, performing, when you mess up and treat it that way, people will remember that forever.
Yeah.
And they go, I remember when you forgot the words and then you made something up and it was so cool, you know. Yeah, so that's
been there too many times.
It's a great example of being humble, because that's not what I thought you were gonna say, to be honest. But you talked about like while performing.
Yeah.
Not that I thought you were gonna say anything.
What's he gonna say?
yeah.
That cocky son of a gun.
Seriously, I thought this guy doesn't know anything about humility.
Not a thing.
No, what I was thinking was that I was really impressed with the way you approached the event. It was clearly your event, and you owned it, like confident.
Mm-hmm.
When you entered, you were even dressed kind of wild.
Yeah.
Like it was your event. Like you were ready to have eyes on you.
Right.
That was your night.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you were friends with everyone, and you were very welcoming, and you made your rounds before the video was even played.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like you showed up at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, and then when the thing was over, you were mingling.
Yeah.
And so, because I heard about Taylor Swift, she used to play the small stages and then spend hours with the fans.
Yeah.
Just talking with them and getting to know them. And so I feel like, I mean, fan is even a word you may or may not even use. I don't know. You may just have your friends who came to your show. Yeah. And you're just happy they were there and you're feeling good. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's pretty organic right now. Like it's still, we're still in my hometown, our hometown.
Right.
Well, not your hometown, but your town.
Well,
is it?
I come from many hometowns.
You've made this a home.
And
this is definitely your hometown.
I have 3 children born here.
That's a hometown now.
And also, my grandmother took a DNA test and found out that her great-grandfather was born in Stratford.
Wow.
Daniel Flanagan.
You're here, man.
So
this is you.
This might be more my hometown than many others. More than you.
I wasn't even born here.
You weren't even born here, dude.
Yeah, so...
I mean, neither was I. was born in Haiti.
Okay. Well, you know what I mean, though?
I made a song called Hometowns. I've been trying to remember it, but I completely forgot. At some point, we'll do the hometown song.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
All right.
I was working on it, and I got the students involved anyways. ChatGPT, man. It's actually amazing. Okay, The Art of Hosting with Ethan Maac. You know what? We did that. I want to burn through some of these real quick.
Sure.
Because we got to get to the live performance, which is our final segment. I just can't wait.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a good one. Fostering a sense of community. How have Ethan Maac's events brought people together and nurtured a supportive network? You know what? We actually talked about that.
Yeah, I think we've touched on that.
Yeah. Let's see what else ChatGPT has.
Sure.
The role of music events in building Ethan Maac's brand.
Ooh,
okay, this is interesting.
It is.
How do music video release parties and live shows contribute to the growth and exposure of Ethan Maac as an artist? That's a good question.
Dang, man. Victor looked at me like, whoa, that's ChatGPT.
Shout out Victor.
Shout out to Victor.
Man behind the camera.
Absolutely. There's a perfect example right there. Like, Victor came and shot a bunch of video, took a bunch of pictures on that night, which turned out amazing. And, like, he's just happy to do it. Like, that's amazing. I mean, I'm going to buy him dinner. But... and we're going to work something out for sure.
He's
but I mean,
gluten-free, just so you know.
Okay, perfect.
And basically fruits and gummy bears would be the main courses. Yeah. And black coffee.
Yeah, we're on the same page, man. Okay, but how do they contribute to my growth and exposure? Well, I think that a lot of people don't really know what I do, and I think that's the case of living here, hip-hop music, what I've always kind of felt like I wanted to do, not being necessarily embraced. So now I'm at the point where I just don't really care. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to invite all my friends, my family, and sure enough, there's going to be people there that I don't really know. And if that leads to them sharing it, them taking video, them posting it, which it did at that last event, there was a bunch of new people that I kind of connected with through that. That's, I think, the biggest part of it. And then just making sure that the whole event is something that people remember and they're like, that was awesome.
Right.
And it was like, like, I'm so glad that you notice all these things. You notice all this attention to detail, because a lot of people I don't think really do. They think this is cool, but they don't put it all together.
Right.
So I think like doing that actually resonating with people, like that's how I kind of think I want to build a brand and grow and be able to do that in places where I don't know people.
Right.
But they still are like, that was sick. That was really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's wicked, man. That actually reminds me of Ryan Leslie. Do you know who that is?
Like from One Republic?
No.
I know that's Ryan.
That's Ryan Tedder.
Tedder.
Ryan Leslie is a music producer, rapper, singer, songwriter, quadruple threat kind of guy. And anyways, he was signed to a major label, put out an album. It did pretty well, you know. And then he did his second album, and it didn't do as well. And so he went to the label, and he said, hey, did you email all the people who bought the first one? He wanted to understand, like, how is this working? He thought major label, he's set.
Yeah.
That was not the case. And they said, no, we don't have anyone's email. And he said, what? Who's got their emails? They said, well, it happened on iTunes. So he messaged iTunes. This was like back in the day.
Right.
And they said, no, we can't give you that information. That's private to us. And so he said, but that's my album. Those are my listeners. Those are my fans.
Yeah.
So he took his music off iTunes. He bought himself out of the deal, the major label deal.
Wow.
He went totally independent.
Yeah.
And he started doing live events that were like memorable. And he hired musicians.
Right.
Paid them really well.
Yep.
And charged, a decent amount for his tickets. And he even ended up making his own app to keep track of everyone with a large amount, not just an email, like birth date, city,
social
age,
insurance number,
credit card info.
Yeah.
Actually,
don't forget
really,
that pin at the back.
Yeah. And so he knows now on one glance on his app who his top fans are in which city.
That's amazing.
And he defines top fan by how much money they've given him.
Yeah.
So because someone can be a top fan just saying, oh, I love your stuff.
Yeah.
But like someone who maybe doesn't say that has spent $6,000 this year on you. And anyways,
just quietly listening.
I could see you going down this path. He ended up renting a castle in Europe more than once for a New Year's party.
Dang.
Where he performed live, of course, but you could purchase VIP tickets and you'd enter on a helicopter.
Whoa.
So you could just be a Ryan Leslie fan. Imagine you could be an Ethan Maac fan.
I'm going to have to
show
do a
up
deep dive.
at the next party.
Yeah.
And you just like, I'm a big fan. I'll buy the like $1,000 ticket and show up on a helicopter.
We'll pick you up in a limo,
He had magicians at the castle, and it was like a suit and tie event.
That's what it's all about.
You wouldn't be allowed in even if you had a ticket unless you were dressed right. Like that level.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of, you've already hit this on the head, which you're doing it more locally at this point, but you're crushing it on creating that brand of, being a cool event that pays attention to detail and takes care of its people who arrive. You're not just slammed in like at a music festival.
Just wedged in there.
Wedged in, Yeah.
Well, it's like, not to get like super off topic, but I think this is touching back to what we were talking about earlier, is that like three blokes started the Stratford Festival, and like it is what it is today because of those 2, 3, 4 blokes.
Build it and they will come.
Yeah. So it's like, I always think about that and I'm like, dang man, it might not be tomorrow. It might not be in 5 years. But in 15 years, if I don't stop doing this and just like approaching it with the same tenacity, what's that going to look like? I think it's going to be amazing.
That's like Toby Nwigwe, the rapper. He said he's going to put out a brand new song and video every Sunday.
Ooh, wow.
For 5 years or something.
Holy smokes.
And he said if after 5 years he's not successful, then he'll quit. But he can't allow himself to quit one day before 5 years is up.
Sheesh,
and now he's like
blown.
Huge.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not like on the major, but he is. He's in Transformers movie.
Right.
His music was in Black Panther.
There you go.
He's acting in some Netflix shows. I was watching. I was like, what? So
Yeah.
anyway, so that's inspiring. So Ethan Maac, I'm very honored you joined me today on episode 1.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure. Just before we move into your awesome live song that you're going to do for us, I wanted to just hear a little bit about what's next for Ethan Maac.
I'm always working on music, obviously, but there's a couple things bubbling. I've been putting a lot of thought into this current release and just making sure that, you know, I'm doing everything possible, like, now that it is out, whether that's making little TikToks and like reels and stuff like that. So that's been a little bit of my focus now, but also thinking ahead to, I've got a couple shows I'm playing with La Grove in June.
Nice.
And then I've got also a show at a music festival the following weekend in June, 17th and then the 24th. So, you know, getting things together for that.
Right.
And then I think once those have kind of come to pass, I'm going to have a really good opportunity to step back into more studio mode, refine a bunch of stuff, and keep coming out with some songs and some videos and just keep it rolling, man.
I can't wait, bro. I always love looking forward to your next releases.
Thanks, man.
So where can people find you? Where should they go?
So I'm probably most active social media-wise on Instagram.
Okay.
And it's Ethan_MAAC, Mac.
The double A.
Double A. It throws a lot of people off.
Yeah.
Threw ChatGPT off.
ChatGPT.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Well, I fed it the info.
Yeah,
so
you fed it, so
my bad.
It's okay. I mean, I think it still gets you to the right place.
Yeah.
But yeah, double A.
Ethan
That's where I'm at.
_MAAC.
Yeah.
Ethan Maac.
Sounded cooler when you said it like that.
On Instagram.
That's it. But yeah,
you want
YouTube,
me to do a
TikTok.
voice tag for you? Ethan
Sure.
Maac.
Yeah.
Ethan _MAAC.
Yes.
You can find him on Instagram.
Yes.
Many shows to come.
Dude, is this a radio? Is it
Many
just
songs to be made
a-
this summer. Amazing. Well, I'm really, again, very honored that you're here on this
Me too.
first ever episode.
I hope.
And you have provided the spark to get this podcast actually off the ground. You and Victor. Shout out, Victor. And so now you're going to do a song. Which song are you going to do?
So I'm going to do a rendition of the song Delightful. And we'll see how it goes. Never done it like this. So
It's a whole
you want to
new
hop
world.
in with me on this a little
Yeah,
bit?
maybe I'll throw a little
Something?
something on there.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Should we do it?
Yeah, let's
Thank
do
you,
it.
man.
Hey, man. Thank you, bro.
Thank you. All right. Hey. Who are you to get so defiant when I'm feeling like I'm on my own? Who are you to act so excited when I am falling on this broken road? Spit something on that.
Wait, let me retry that. How fast do you want it?
Shout out Karim. Hey. So to take away my art is my only expression. When I'm looking at my life and it's like an obsession, and I aim above par without an exception. Seems like every single day I'm getting a lesson. I'm thankful to the God, I'm counting my blessings. But I'm not trying to act like I'm resurrecting. No, I just hope I'm headed in the right direction. Yeah, the top of the charts, you know I'm gonna get it. And I'm not gonna stop till the day I get it. So if you wanna chop it, I better forget it. And if you blowin' smoke, then you know I'm on. They like, hey, where you going? If you didn't notice something, focused on my vision. And I'm on coast, and you seem to find a reason just to bring me to my knees. And but I'll never be defeated, cause you gotta be the team behind my back. There's no cap, there's no cap, no cap, no cap. So who are you to get so excited tonight? Feeling like I'm on my own. Who are you? Who are you? And who are you to act so excited tonight? I'm falling on a broken road. What I do, how you beat me. Jump. What I do, that you beat me. You don't gonna shine. And I do how we move all the time. You don't have to do nothing, simply my mind. What's right here?
It's been a blast, man. That was sick. Shout out to Victor on the cam.